sports entertainment.
Future of Wrestling Podcast. I'm your host once again for this old school episode. I'm Logan Myers, alongside my co-host for tonight, of course, Eric from the Kayfabe Today podcast. Welcome, bro. Thank you for coming on once again, and where can they check you out?
You can follow me on Twitter at MTLBroski514. You can find me on YouTube, youtube.com/firstthinginthemorningshow. You can follow me on Twitch for Late Night with Broski at twitch.tv/MTLBroski. You can support the show in two ways, prowrestlingtees.com/FTITM and patreon.com/FTITM. I'm out of breath, so someone else talk.
And of course, our second co-host of the night, of course, Bronson. Thank you, my friend, for coming on. And where can they check you out at?
You can catch me at Bronson Tron on Twitter. That's it.
And last but not least, he is the Iron Man of podcasts, in my opinion. He is from the HibikiTMD channel. Travis, welcome aboard. Thanks for coming on as a guest. Where can they check you out at?
Travis? We lost it.
Hey man, I'm here.
Okay.
I didn't know I was muted, but I was trying to say I can't say that anymore because Broski and his late night show. My God, he is definitely taking the mantle of the Iron Man. But yeah, what's up? I love the old school episodes. Thanks for asking me to come back.
Of course, thank you, Travis. Once again, we have a full house, two co-hosts and a guest, and I'm excited about this old school edition because we are talking about the Hart Foundation. Are you guys ready for this? Are you guys excited about the Hart Foundation episode?
Yeah.
I am.
Did we just have Braun Strowman in the background?
I think Bronson just got possessed.
I think he did too. Legit.
Thought it was Stu for a second. So.
Your mother sucks dick in hell.
Oh my.
Okay,
Oh.
he is.
Hey Stu, how's it going?
I'm glad it took us not even 2 minutes to start doing Stu Hart impersonations on your Hart Foundation episode. That's so us.
That is true. I agree with you 110%, sir, on that. But the very first segment of the night is, of course, the hot seat segment. Always bring this to the old school. And the very first question, who was the underdog in the Hart Foundation?
Owen.
Yeah,
Owen was the underdog. Because he was always living in the shadow of his brother Brett, even though he was significantly better than Brett in terms of ring psychology, in terms of in-ring action, in terms of promos, in terms of personality, in terms of charisma. He was better than Brett. He never broke out of Brett's shadow, which is unfortunate. But he could have been a great world champion. Definitely Owen Hart's the underdog, without a doubt.
Absolutely.
100% accurate.
Yes.
There you go. We solved that fucking segment for you.
It wasn't really a hot seat segment. It was more like a
Not
quick
really.
seat segment.
Goddamn right.
The second
Logan-
question. No, go ahead.
Logan, put on the OBS. You know where you lowered the volume before?
Yeah.
Up it, because we're all low. So
Already
up it
did.
on OBS. Oh, you did? Okay. Megan says we're low.
I don't
Wear
know why.
headphones. Wear headphones. And I hear Eric and Travis, Brian, Braun, and Logan sound like they're in a tin can. Yeah, well, it's because me and Travis probably have mics. Do you have a mic, Travis? Or a headset?
I do.
Yeah, that's it. They probably... Are you using your mic, Logan, or are you using your phone?
I'm using my
I'm using
headset.
my...
Using your headset. You sound better.
I think
Bronson...
it's just your mic settings on OBS. Just turn it all the way up if you haven't.
I did.
Yeah, that could be...
Okay.
Everything's... But I will go and double check.
Well, me and Travis can do the podcast then.
How do I sound right now?
Well, you sound fine to us. Just keep
You
going
sound
with the
good to us, Logan. It's not us that they're
All right,
Just
well,
keep going.
Megan, let us know
Just
on
keep
the
going.
live stream.
Keep going.
if
Keep
you
going with the
send-
show. Just keep going with the show. I'll check the chat. Don't worry.
All right. The question number 2: if these guys could still wrestle, would you like to see a reunion?
Well, that's going to be a little tricky for Owen
Well, I'm
Yes.
just saying if
and Bulldog and Pillman.
Yeah.
I'm saying the tag team.
Oh, well, isn't Anvil dead? Oh no, Anvil's not dead yet.
No,
You mean to like pass to like how they kind of did with the Hart Dynasty, or like if these guys never died and they're still going?
Yeah.
Would be like, which one?
all of them?
Are we assuming everyone's still alive?
Yeah, if they were still alive, would you
Well, I mean,
like to see a reunion?
Not wrestling, no. Maybe on something like Raw, like something like a Raw 25, them coming back for an appearance. Yeah, but wrestling, they'd all be kind of old by now. I mean, look at Brett, right? So no, not in a wrestling capacity, but I would love to see them a reunion, maybe in the ring or something for, like just like a reunion gimmick thing. Like they all go on the stage and wave like a bunch of old men.
Kind of like they did on the 25th Raw right there.
Yeah, with the divas. Yeah. Oh, I'm sorry, with the ladies. I'm sorry. I said the D word.
Ooh, damn, you did.
If any of them could come back still alive, the best. Not to, we're already doing it. Is Owen. He was always, I feel like, the best promo wise out of all the Hart Foundation.
Yeah, like the promos he used to cut on Brett, like there was some truth there. You know what I mean? Like you could tell when he was cutting those promos. There was some truth there. Maybe not, but God, it was just like such a talent that never really got fully appreciated. If you remember, after Brett left for WCW, Owen had this 2 or 3 week period where he was hot as shit, coming through the crowd and attacking Shawn Michaels and shit like that. That was the perfect time to pull the trigger, put the title on him, and let him ride with the title for a little bit. That was a perfect, because he was fucking hot as shit.
And of course they fucked that up, had him feud with Triple H.
Yep.
Shit all over there.
I feel like Owen paid for a lot of Brett's actions after he left. Vince couldn't take it out on Brett, so he took it out on Owen.
And
Go ahead.
if you remember, Owen wanted to leave, but he couldn't because he was still under the contract. So yeah, I think there's some truth to that.
Because all Owen wanted to do was make enough money to buy his house, to fix his house, and then he was going to quit in a couple years anyway. He was almost
Wanted to be
done.
a fireman. Wanted to be a fucking fireman.
Yep. Just
Like
a
his
low
brother
key.
Keith.
Yeah, just wanted to be low key as fuck. Just a family man.
I agree with that. No, I do agree with the fact that you said that Owen Hart was kind of like punished for what Bret Hart did. And,
Oh, yeah.
But I think it was wrong because Owen Hart didn't do it to Vince. It was Bret. So.
Tater in the chat. The Tater in the chat said they're not divas. We prefer the term bitches. Thank you very much.
Another home run, Tater.
It's got me over here geeking out.
Logan?
Okay.
Technical issues up the ass tonight.
Holy shit, snacks.
Blackheart gimmick while Logan recovers, though. That was ugh. Like at first it seemed like it had legs, and then when you saw it just like going for the European title, and then nothing, and then
That was your rape.
I said Jason Sensation.
All right, can you guys hear me
Are
now?
you back, Logan?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, we can hear you, man. Yes.
Can everyone in the chat here? Are you still deaf?
Yeah, because Ashley said my audio sounded bad, and I don't know, I just cut out there for a second.
Anyway, let's keep going. Yeah.
All right, the next subject, segment that we're gonna do is, of course, I always bring it to the show, and I know you guys love to do it. Trivia Mania is here.
Yes.
It is a triple threat to see who wins this championship. Travis versus Eric versus Bronson. Are you guys ready?
Goddamn right.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. There's 5 questions, and then if there's a tiebreaker, I have a 6th question already set. So, what year did the Hart Foundation debut? Was it A, 1980, B, 1982, C, 1984, or D, 1985?
Can you read the 2 first ones for a second again? I missed the 2 first ones.
A, 1980, or
Yeah.
B, 1982?
Fuck. I'm gonna go. God, my memories. I'm gonna go 82.
You're going to go with B. All
Yeah.
right. Bronson.
Give me the last 2 again.
1984 or 1985?
I'm going to say 84.
All right. And Travis.
I'm going 85.
Ooh, 3
Travis.
different answers.
Travis got it right. He's got the first point.
Damn.
Because I feel like the first time I saw them was at WrestleMania 2 in the Battle Royal, and I don't remember them at WrestleMania 1. That's the only reason I picked 85.
And they weren't on WrestleMania 1.
Well, you guys actually answered number 2 earlier, so now I can't even do that question, so that sucks. Because it was who was involved in the new Hart Foundation.
Ashley in the chat says your audio is fixed, by the way. Shout
Alright,
out to
good.
Ashley.
Thank you, Ashley. Alright, and what year did the original Hart Foundation disband? Was it A, 1988, B, 1991, C, 1993, or D, 1990?
I have no fucking clue.
I'm going to say 1991.
$1. $1, Bob.
Alright, Travis, you pick first.
He said 91.
No, me and Bronson said 91.
Alright, Eric, what are you going to do?
Well, if they both said 91, I'm going to say 91.
Alright, because you all 3 got it right.
Yes.
Alright, the next
I'm
question.
I'm going to piggyback my way to the top.
How many tag team championship reigns did Bret Hart and Jim Neidhart have? Was it A, 5, B, 3, C, 2, or D, 1?
Like together, right?
Yes, together as tag teams.
I feel like I have to answer last every time.
Yeah, you do, because you know all the answers. Fucking wrestling Rain Man over there. I'm gonna go.
Movies in wrestling covered on the show too. Rain Man.
I'm gonna go 3.
That's our tag team, Bronson, the Rain Man.
I like that. Yes.
There's the range check.
Yeah. Movies and wrestling. I'm gonna say. No,
I said 3. 3 title wins.
I'm gonna say 2.
I'm going to.
Damn it!
So Eric already knows he lost. The next question. At SummerSlam 1990, who did the Hart Foundation face in a 2 out of 3 falls match for the tag team titles?
That's one of my favorite matches of all time. That's such an unfair question for them if they don't know. It really is one of my favorites.
Alright, well, see, good thing I'm doing good questions, though. A, the Rockers, B, the Nasty Boys, C, Demolition, or D, Legion of Doom?
Wait, what was the question again?
At SummerSlam 1990, who did the Hart Foundation face in a 2 out of 3 falls match for the tag team titles?
Alright.
90. Jesus.
I'm gonna say Demolition.
That's actually who I was leading towards too. But
Go ahead.
just yeah, well, I guess I'll go with Demolition.
You're all 3
I
right,
love,
because I already
love
know
the
Travis.
love the disdain in Broski's voice when he's 90. Ugh.
No,
It's Demolition.
it's just I can't remember anything.
We were like 6.
Yeah, well, yeah, there's that. Plus, I wasn't watching, I don't think I was watching the pay-per-views when I was a kid. So that's all the stuff that I went back and watched.
Well, when you were a kid, it's like strictly your parents' VHSs, whatever you happen to have around that they have on the tape. At least for
Exactly.
me.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Or rent them in the video store if they got them, like, after they come out.
Yeah.
I'm choosing to ignore what Ashley said about me in the chat because of what she said about Bret Hart. So I'm choosing to ignore it. I'm not responding to it.
Brought
I'm
out
not.
all kinds of guns tonight. All these shots she's firing about Bret.
Right? I really shouldn't have yelled at her on the podcast about Stephanie McMahon. She's holding on to that. She's holding on to that grudge.
Apparently, yeah, man.
All right. Well, we already know Travis won, but I'm still gonna ask the tiebreaker question. What was the Hart Foundation's last pay-per-view before they disbanded? A. SummerSlam, B. Royal Rumble, C. Survivor Series, or D. WrestleMania?
This is Hart Foundation, the tag team, or the stable?
They've all been the tag team. Still the tag team. The SummerSlam.
Okay. Just making sure.
The original, right?
Yeah.
Well, all the questions.
Two-man band.
Have you guys not noticed that all the questions have been the original Hart Foundation?
No, what's up
not-
with that?
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah.
Not noticed. I said SummerSlam, I think. Yeah, SummerSlam.
Bronson.
Wait, read the choices.
SummerSlam, Royal Rumble, Survivor Series, or WrestleMania?
Every fucking time.
Every time. What was the question? What was the answers?
Oh, man.
Did I win?
We'll go SummerSlam too. Okay.
All right, Travis.
Who's the piggybacker now, Ashley?
It's WrestleMania 7. Because they lost to the Nasty Boys.
Oh, wow.
I'll pull a trivia
God.
question out of my ass. Okay, in your house, Canadian Stampede, right? That's the one where like all the the Hart members came in after the 10-man tag in like '97. What was the opening match?
I don't know.
I have no idea.
Logan.
I'm not even going to take a chance.
It was Hunter Hearst Helmsley, Mankind, and Street Fight.
Jesus.
Oh, okay. I remember that match.
Fucking give up on
Eric is like so ashamed of me.
No, I'm not.
I don't even
I'm
think
not
Travis
ashamed.
should be in the Trivia Mania ever again.
Yeah, this is like a slaughter.
I should just be the machine that you get the questions from, like a committed fortune cookie.
Actually, yeah, you should come with the question, Travis. Yeah,
Yeah.
because you know your shit.
How the fuck did I ever beat you?
That's a good
I don't know.
question.
How did that
Because
ever
I feel like you don't give yourself enough credit because you know your shit too. That's what it just depends on the topic. with
Yeah.
you. Like some things are like your hot points. You know what I mean? Like I feel like you could ace a strictly Owen quiz or like fucking.
Oh, I would kill it. I would murder you guys on Owen. That I would do.
Yeah.
I would walk into that with ultimate. I'd walk out with my chest puffed out and shit. I'm gonna win. Gonna win, boys.
You beta male.
Oh no. Tater Snake says, "What? You don't know you're in your house trivia? Shame." Thanks, Tater.
You're not a real fan.
Oh no. Oh no. I'm not a real fan.
I feel like Bronson like tied with me. I don't remember him getting one wrong.
No, he did. He
the first one.
he copied me once and failed. Bad idea,
Yeah.
Bronson.
You gotta contend here with Bronson, though. I feel next time I'm on, man, it's on.
And the
Well-
tiebreaker, don't forget he lost that one too.
Yeah, but Travis already won. The tiebreaker was kind of useless.
Yeah, I mean,
Well,
let's keep it real.
Did you just need to Did you just need to make sure I lost and ended up in last, Logan? Is that what you needed?
yes.
What is this? The NFL?
Oh no.
All right. So the next segment that we're gonna do is favorite memories of the Hart Foundation. It doesn't matter Owen Hart. It could be Brian Pillman. Anything in the history.
When Bret Hart called Pittsburgh the shithole of America, that's one of my favorite because it was just such a funny promo. Like it made like I feel like that was one of the lines that made America really fucking hate Bret, and it's also by the same token it's one of the lines that made like Bret a Canadian hero. When like the whole Canada versus USA feud, I would have to say is my favorite moment because that was some fantastic shit. Like that was the stuff where you would go in like when they were in the States, Shawn Michaels was a hero, but when he came here, Like when the screw job happened, dude, I was surprised somebody didn't try to take out Sean with like a fucking sniper rifle from the top of the fucking forum. Like I was sure he wasn't walking out of Montreal alive that time.
Right.
That heat, the feeling in the building when when Brett got screwed was so violent. Like there was a violent air and like when Brett started losing his shit, it was just like, oh god. I remember my dad. He was like considering. He was like, I think we should go before shit goes down because I feel like shit's gonna go down because people were pissed.
I've never watched something on TV and it's like in like a more modern era and seen the fans rush the barricade so rapidly, at finish. It still holds up to how pissed you guys are.
Oh yeah. The boos were deafening. As loud as the pop for Stone Cold's return was at No Way Out 2003, the boos for the Montreal screw job were deafening. Like if it's a quiet night, you know, and the wind's blowing the right way, I can still hear the boos. Still hear them to this day. That was poetry, a little wrestling poetry for y'all.
Logan doesn't appreciate it. So you go out of your way with all these on-the-spot poems. Logan's just like,
Yeah, no selling everything. Doesn't care.
No selling. Fucking Bradshaw over
what
here.
I do? Like,
Fucking Bradshaw.
I'm listening. I'm actually like into this. I like hearing what you guys have to say.
Yeah, but you're the host. You can't just listen, Logan. I like how we're critiquing him live on air.
We love you, Logan.
But I mean, I like all the Owen Hart stuff. You know, like it's not really Hart Foundation, I guess, but we can just like make a little slight aside, like the Brett Owen feud. I thought that was great. That kind of led into them coming together in the Hart Foundation. So I thought that was like a really good foundation because you got to have the hate before you can have the love. And then once they were together in like a unified group, and then they added Pillman. You know, it just kind of solidified, and that led into like gang rules and all that kind of shit, like with the feuds with the Nation of Domination and all that kind of stuff. And that it was a weird time.
Bruce would find a way to be at ringside and be like, I need in, and just have his leather jacket and
he's ready to go at all times. He was just ready to go, and there was like, you know, it was just a really, really like emotion-packed kind of feud, and I don't think we see that anymore. Where like Brett, some of the stuff he was saying about. Well, I'm sure Brett hates you too, Ashley. He blames you for injuring people. And like, I don't know. I just thought that the combination of Brett and Owen, and then bringing back the Anvil and adding like Brian Pillman, who kind of gave that like, you know, that crazy anything can happen kind of vibe to the faction. I just thought it was a really good combination of all of those guys. Oh, and British Bulldog, of course. Can't believe I forgot Davey Boy. But like he was the power. Like everybody kind of had a role in the Hart Foundation. Everybody kind of played their part, and they did so to perfection. And we haven't seen a faction like that since. I mean, you obviously have the chemistry because a lot of those guys were family, right? I mean, they're all family except Pillman, either by marriage or by blood.
Because he came up over there, right, in the dungeon, and you would see him in like old family tapes that he would be there. Some of the guys that would train would stick around for like a Thanksgiving. Yeah, he was like a brother to them.
Exactly. So it was like that tight family type of unit. And when you have that, you have chemistry. And when you have chemistry, it comes off on screen. And they all did, like I said, they all played their part, and they all played it really, really well. I don't think we've seen a faction that like cohesive, that one strong unified unit since.
No, not even. I mean, the closest you could say is DX or a Shield, but not. There's just that chemistry you can't work.
There's the chemistry of them growing up, especially Owen and Brett, and then being around the dungeon. So they, in a sense, they all kind of grew up, or maybe not grew up, but they all were very close for a very long period of time before they became a faction. And you can't fake that kind of chemistry. You can't write it. You know what I mean? So yeah, I think while I agree with you, Travis, that you could kind of compare them to DX a little bit. Not so much. I don't think the Shield, because the Shield didn't really have that. You know, they always pushed that they were brothers, like, oh, we're brothers, but you never really get that vibe. Like when you look at the Hart Foundation, that's one cohesive unit that have been together for years, and I think that's a big difference of what makes them, kind of sets them apart from every other faction.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's what I think of the Hart Foundation.
When you guys hear Brett and Owen, you see, for me, like the original feud with those two, the Shadow, you know, he was in the Shadow. It was tremendous. Still one of my favorite feuds of this day. When I hear that though, I think of the match at WrestleMania 10. When people put it in like their top 5 Mania matches, do you agree with that? Because I put it in there. It's so good.
Hell yeah.
It's a great match. It's a very, very good match.
It's a clinic. It's a straight up clinic. That's another example we talk about all the time. I would show if I was running a wrestling school to my students. I'd tell the story.
Yeah, no, yeah, completely. You would just sit them down and be like, all right, you see what they're doing? Do that every time you're in the ring. And you'll be fine. You'll be a fucking star. From the terms of just pure wrestling to psychology to knowing where they're going and what story they want to tell, it's like a textbook. You know, if like you taught wrestling in a classroom, you know, sitting down taking notes, that's day one material right there. That's what you need to learn how to do.
Like, you don't even have teaching someone how to book wrestling. This would be a match I'd show them too. How to book a finish that's not too swervy, that's just right, that catches everyone you didn't see coming with a perfect balance of, you know what I mean? Besides that being my favorite, obviously, we talked about it a little bit off air, still, my favorite thing of the whole Attitude Era was the Hart Foundation, all 5 of them, in that Canada versus USA feud, and that's not even considered really the Attitude Era. It's right before it, because I consider the Attitude when the screw job happened. When Vince got off commentary for me, that was the Attitude Era when it started.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
I agree. That's the catalyst. Well, I mean, the Montreal Screwjob was the catalyst to the Attitude Era because that's what gave birth to Mr. McMahon, and Mr. McMahon versus Austin. That's the Attitude Era. So it's really without the screw. It's kind of ironic looking back, but without that horrible thing that Vince McMahon did in screwing over Bret Hart, there wouldn't have been no Attitude Era. And we'd probably, like you said earlier today, Travis, we'd probably be watching WCW Network right now.
Yeah, it's just such little things that happened during that time. If it wouldn't happen, how different things would be.
And it's because at the time, if you looked at it, Brett going to WCW, that was like, like WWE just took a major hit, because especially at the time, because Brett was their top guys. But it's funny how things ended up working out by Brett leaving and Vince McMahon spinning it and turning himself into a character, the evil billionaire. He actually saved the company when it looked like he was fucking everybody over. Yeah. You know what I mean? So it's crazy how things turn out. And he's either the luckiest son of a bitch on the planet, or he knew exactly what he was doing. I think it's the latter.
I don't think he's the luckiest motherfucker in the thing. I think he's the smartest.
Yeah.
I think that was luck.
No,
capitalistic motherfucker. It's opportunistic that strikes and irons hot out of all time.
I agree. That's opportunistic is the perfect way to put it.
Wow.
But yeah, I also, you go back, if Steve Austin never broke his neck in Japan, what, against fucking Masahiro Chono, maybe Eric Bischoff would have never fired him. I feel people say, like, without McMahon, Austin wouldn't have got as big, and I agree with that, but I think Austin still would have been huge. You know what I mean?
I mean, he got a shot
on that level. He needed Vince in a way. He needed that level of an antagonist, because for that level of a protagonist that Austin was, you needed something just as extreme to counteract, and it was a beautiful balance. We'll never see that again. We will never, ever see that again. And we won't, like, back to this, we won't even see this kind of Canada hates us for no fucking reason. You know what I mean? We'll never see that again either. Unfortunately, that's no one's fault. That's just the modern era and technology also rearing its head in. But, you know.
I know
probably won't ever see another Arab heel character either, probably.
I know this is off topic of the Hart Foundation, but they just announced the general manager for 205 Live.
Yeah, who is it?
Drake Maverick.
Who?
Fuck is that?
Rockstar Spud.
That's his name? Ugh.
Oh.
Ugh.
Well, I mean, Rockstar Spud isn't any better.
Was that really a good name anyway?
Oh, no.
This is really porny, though. It sounds really porny.
Deborah Maverick. Yeah, it does sound like porn name.
Paige, look out.
Huh?
But,
Hey, I mean, I expected Gregory Helms, honestly.
Yeah, that would have been cool, or the Hurricane or whatever, yeah. Yeah.
But,
What do you guys think if Pillman never got hurt? Obviously, you know, the car accident. When he was in he didn't really wrestle a lot when he was in the stable, right? So he was kind of more of a mouthpiece, but he would wrestle a little bit. But when he did, it was not even close to what he did before.
Yeah, he wasn't Flying Brian anymore, so yeah.
I seen like a little like in-house thing, not on the levels like Wolfpack versus Hollywood, but like the Hart Foundation kind of like battle lines in an angle. And Pillman was so good. If he would have never gotten hurt and kept what he evolved into promo-wise with his young in-ring skills, he could have been a world champion. He was so good.
Yeah.
And I love that he brought that he definitely put that stable over the top. I feel like if you took Pillman out of that stable, and it's weird because he wasn't officially hard, but you took a big part of that edge that they had at that time out of it.
Oh yeah, because I mean, if you look at them, like Brett wasn't like an edgy kind of looking guy. Neither was Owen. Anvil a little bit more because of that like crazy wicked beard. But Pillman just looks out of his fucking mind. You know what I mean? Like he had that loose cannon. Like that was his moniker, right? It was a loose cannon. Brian Pillman in WWE. Yep. Yeah. So I mean, and he had that thing, and he kind of gave the group a kind of a mysterious edge. Like you don't know. Like you can kind of count on what all four other guys are going to do, but you're like, what's Pillman going to do? Like he's the wild card of the group. If you would like, I think that's the best way I could describe him. Like he was the wild card. You couldn't really pin down what he was doing, or like not what he was doing. Sorry, what his role in the group was, but you could definitely determine that he had a role. And I think that air of mystery kind of helped them, like solidify as one of the greatest factions ever, in my opinion.
Brian Pillman, for me, may be the greatest at his gimmick to this day of all fucking time.
Oh, yeah.
Of all time. When he did this loose cannon stuff, and not flying Brian, guys, come on. But you know what I mean. It was tremendous. And the whole Booker Man thing with Kevin Sullivan, right?
Yeah.
WCW.
Oh, yeah.
It really was a work. It came out, but he was just so good at making people guess. And the internet was around in its infancy. The dirt sheets were there. You know, people would find it, and he still got it past Tuna Meltzer back in the day. But still, man, maybe the best ever I've seen in this gimmick, honestly.
Oh yeah, he's great. He was always great, especially in like I agree with his with you, Travis. His loose cannon. He's everything Dean Ambrose wishes he could be.
Yes.
Yeah. Oh my God, yes. That is the truth. 100 times right there.
Yeah.
Wow. Yep, I agree with I think my favorite Brian Pillman moment was his feud with Stone Cold.
Oh yeah, the gun. One of the best moments ever.
Yes.
Hokey, definitely hokey, but wrestling needed that. Just thrust it into it out of nowhere because it was so mundane and cheesy for so long. It just sometimes that shit needs to happen, I guess, and it was the right time. But I like the best is Kevin Kelly. If you remember, call the police. He's
yeah.
Yeah.
We gotta get out of here.
Yeah. Oh my God.
He's like yelling at Stone Cold to get out. Oh yeah, God, Kevin Kelly. He's the worst.
Fans love him. Fans are like, he's the best of all time. I've seen it.
Oh yeah, because he's calling New Japan. So as soon as something's in New Japan, it's automatically 7 stars to these fucking marks.
Josh Matthews could call New Japan, and he'll be like the next.
Don't you dare!
I hate Josh Matthews.
Yeah, I was never a fan of him either.
Such a prick.
Yes,
a little
exactly.
weasel.
You guys ready for the next segment of the night?
Yeah, just real quick, I put on Twitter before I need coffee and cocaine because I was fucking exhausted. Somebody just replied, talk to Mojo Rawley.
That's fucking coffee. That's not coffee. That's fucking...
Well, I said cocaine and coffee, so got half of that.
It's like if you put the coke in your mouth and you put like the coffee in your mouth, you swirl it all around, it turns into liquid meth, and you turn into Mojo Rawley.
There you go.
Ow.
That's how you stay hype.
Pro tip of the day.
Yep.
Or you know.
Well.
Sorry, go on. What's next, Logan?
Oh, I was just gonna say they did add another guy to 205 Live tonight. By the way, Tyler Bate officially joins 205 Live.
Oof,
man.
poor guy.
That's just depressing. Thanks.
If they put Pete Dunne on 205 Live, I'm gonna fucking lose my shit.
Ugh.
Yeah, but
I hope they make a Cedar Words though. I hope putting guys like on there makes it must watch again, like the tournament was.
maybe they do, because they're having a tournament for the cruiserweight champion. Grand Metalik will face Cedric Alexander in their very first match.
Yeah, that should be all right.
And then it's TJP versus Tyler Bate tonight as well.
Ooh, okay. That should be good.
TJP.
So,
I hate TJP.
yeah, me too. He's very cocky on Twitter. I don't like him.
Yeah.
Ooh, he's got the heat with Logan.
He's got heat with a lot of fans on Twitter. He acts like a prick. Legit.
Good. Okay, never mind. I like him now.
And he's got Mega Man 2 as his theme.
Alright, so the very first question of this segment is what if? What if, guys? What if?
What if?
The first question, what if Hart Foundation was still around with Owen Hart and British Bulldog? What faction would you want them to feud with?
Christ, there's no fuse left. Absolution. No, but seriously, feuds. Balor Club.
That was my pick as well.
Yeah.
Aces and eights.
Aces and eights.
Right.
Wow, there's a faction I haven't thought of in a while.
Or
That's
Sanity.
actually-
Sanity wouldn't be bad either.
Just to be different, Undisputed Era. Why not? I think the tag matches would be really good, and I think Cole and Bret Hart would be tremendous, actually, now that I think about it.
Yeah.
Wow.
Hell yeah.
See, I love doing these segments and these questions because even though the guys like Owen Hart and British Bulldog aren't here with us, can you
It's
imagine the
fantasy
matches?
booking.
Yeah, fantasy book. I love fantasy booking, no matter what.
I still to this day think Owen Hart, Daniel Bryan, or Owen Hart. Oh wait, fuck Daniel Bryan. Owen Hart, Johnny Gargano.
Oh my god. Or Almas and Hart, because Hart kind of had more of a Lucha New Japan style. So him and
He
Almas.
did have. Oh, that would have been money.
Actually, remember our last show with Eddie Guerrero? You didn't mention Johnny Gargano versus Eddie Guerrero, did you?
I wasn't here.
I think, let's see,
Oh,
Johnny
that's right,
Gargano
he
had
wasn't.
that A+ performance last year. So right now, it's like they're finally showing what he's capable of. So he's definitely in high demand. That match was, ooh.
And they booked them pretty well in the Rumble, almost. So he did very good.
Yeah, he did do
Yeah.
pretty well in the.
Even taking that RKO, it didn't like bury him. I mean, he
No.
had a good showing.
He stayed there for a while. So, yeah.
Well, I never feel like when an NXT guy gets called up and gets fucked over by like a main roster guy, I never feel like that's a burial because that's kind of the way it should be. Your main roster guy should pretty much 9 times out of 10 take out your developmental guys, right? And I know it's NXT's not developmental. Everybody's gonna get all fucking pissy again, but it is developmental. Suck it.
Yeah, it really
It
is.
is.
It
Yeah,
is.
The Ascension proves that it's developmental, guys. Come on.
Oh yeah.
Oof. Yes. Oof.
I know Kevin Owens was a different story, though, in my opinion. But then again,
No, he was.
No, I mean, and I agree with that, but like when you got something special like a Nakamura, sometimes like a Bobby Roode, sometimes I would protect those guys definitely over like a fuck. I would have booked Enzo and Cass not to the titles, but probably did what they did, kept making people want it, especially seeing now we don't know what we know now, but you know, I don't know. Looking back, it seems like behind the scenes they didn't get along anyway, so maybe that's probably what led to the split up, as we come to see.
exactly.
Huh. Oh really? Was there?
I mean, they were always, like you said earlier, Broski, they were that family. The Hearts, they never had heat with each other. Like, if you fucked with one, you fucked with all. They only started having heat when Brett, like, left for WCW. Then all the Hart, like, siblings, all fucking 2,000 of them, started hating each other and taking sides, you know, but... did you even ask Bronson what his favorite Hart moment was before you moved on?
I couldn't. I'm not following that. Yeah, I'm not following that.
He's done. That was
Yeah,
his
I'm
other.
I'm not following that. Yeah, no. Let's move on. You guys did a good job. I'm not. Yeah.
Okay.
I like me some Hart Foundation. This is probably one topic that I can talk for a long time about.
Yeah.
I read Brett's book from a couple years ago.
I have, yeah, and I read
too.
and
It's
I read
awesome.
I read Martha's book as well on Owen.
How was that?
It was good and it was not good. It was good because the stuff that she talked about, like when they met and Owen off the road and Owen at home, that's really interesting. Gave you another look into how like a gentle giant kind of Owen was. But then when she gets into the WWE stuff, understandably, like I'm not holding this against her, but it's it's written from a very bitter perspective. So you don't get any kind of like you don't really get
fucking WWE.
Yeah, pretty much. She buries WWE pretty hardcore, and she doesn't really get into his accomplishments, which I understand.
Right.
But actually, the stuff that she talks about wrestling is a lot of Stampede wrestling. That stuff was great. Like,
Nice.
there's one quick story. Like Brett asked Owen, like when he first met Martha, if she was smart, and Owen was like, no, not really. And then in the book, Martha writes that she remembers being so fucking offended because she thought he meant that she was stupid. But Brett was meant like smart to the business. So I thought that was like just like a really funny thing how like they didn't even try to bother and like explain to her. They just kind of talked like because when you grow up in a wrestling family like with the Harts, right, you don't think that there's people who don't know what like kayfabe and smart and gimmick and all that kind of insider means, right?
Yeah.
So they just They just kind of straight up was like, "Is she smart?" And Owen's like, "Nope." And it's like, "Well, wow, my boyfriend's a fucking dick." That and she always made Owen wear shoes because apparently he had hideous feet. So.
Wow.
That's
like
in the book.
Habit, I guess.
That's in the book. So yeah, it's a good book. If you guys haven't read it and you're at all interested in Owen Hart, I highly recommend it.
It is wow.
That's crazy how she put hideous feet.
Yes.
Yeah,
Wow.
she said he was the most beautiful man she had ever seen until she looked at his feet.
Wow.
It's like a quote from the book. She like spends a page and a half burying his feet.
His feet are not over.
Wow.
I can tell. That's insane. Well, I mean,
Yeah, I read that book in like a day and a half. I stayed up all night and I just like finished it in like 2 sittings.
wow, that's great.
I love Owen, so.
Before I ask the next what if question, you guys can just mention, let's do some history on the Hart Foundation. Anything you guys want to mention, talk about? You said you can go all night. We still have a little bit left, at least to get to an hour.
Yeah. Well, I mean, like the Bret Hart and Owen Hart feud, I think, is one of the greatest feuds of all time. In terms of match quality, in terms of build, in terms of promos. One of my favorite, I can't remember what pay-per-view it was, but Bret and Owen had a match, like first match of the night, and Owen beat Bret. And then at the end of the night, for some reason, I can't remember what pay-per-view, I can't remember.
It was WrestleMania 10.
Was it? And then he came back. Yes, okay, and he came back. And then Bret won the title, and Owen comes out, and the look on Owen's face, and that's what like is missing from today. Everything was told by Owen's facials, like his facial expressions. He came out, and you could just see on his face, like he's like, no matter what I do, even when I beat you in a night, you still managed to outclass me. And that's what really sent them into that hardcore feud that led to their cage match, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. I'm really bad with timeline.
Yeah.
But that's what, and just the look on Owen's face. And I remember being a kid, and I remember I wasn't always an Owen Hart fan before Bret. I was always a Bret Hart fan first. But I remember that night feeling so bad for Owen, and it kind of made me be like, you know what? He's right. Bret's always stealing his moment of glory. He can never let Owen shine. That's like I remember that so well because it's the specific moment where I was like, yeah, I'm an Owen Hart guy, and everybody else on the playground, all my friends were Bret Hart guys, and I was always the one Owen Hart guy, and I was like, yes, I am an Owen Hart guy because I've always been like, I'm a big fan of Daniel Bryan, Johnny Gargano for modern fans, so I've always liked that underdog feel, and just the way of like you give him the win. But then later on in the night, his brother outclasses him, and he comes out, and he's just like, what the fuck? And nobody said a damn thing, and everybody understood what was going on. It's just brilliant psychology of people who grew up in the business and knew exactly what to do. And for me, that's what's missing. There is no more of that just feeling. It's always have to be like, I'm going to kick your ass this Sunday at WrestleMania, and I am upset because of A, B, C, D. There's no room for interpretation.
And if you remember,
in my opinion.
No, exactly.
My least favorite Owen Hart moment though is that same night, WrestleMania 10, right when he beat Bret, backstage interview, wipe the fucking spit off the side of your mouth.
Yeah.
All I remember for some reason big pot of spit. Yeah. It just seemed like it took forever. It was like Stan Layden was like an interviewer or something. It was like
that never happened. That never happened. You're remembering wrong.
It was fucking Bobby Eaton.
Yeah.
Remember, this started in Survivor Series where the Harts against HBK and his Knights, and Owen was the only one that took the fall.
That's true. That's
what
there you go.
Yeah.
93.
Yes.
There you go. 93.
Yes.
Survivor Series 93. Yeah, dude, let's talk about the other Harts, man. Keith. The fireman. They drilled into your head he was a fireman with the mustache and fucking Bruce. Right. He was in Stampede too. He was like the booker for a while, and he's such a bitter man. If you've heard stories about him and how Bret and then they took Bret and Davey and all those guys, but they never took Bruce. Man, and with that match, Bronson, I thank you for bringing that up because I would have forgot about it. That's a big part of the Hart story.
Yeah, it really is. That's a huge part. It's kind of like the catalyst that set the next couple years in motion. Yeah.
I was so shocked as a kid too, because that was one of the first times as a kid where I didn't see a swerve coming. I was like, kind of like the barbershop thing. I think was the first for me, right? With Marty.
yeah.
It was the first time I was like, or either that or the snake biting Sap.
Oh God, the snake.
Yeah, that was fuck.
Wait, what snake?
When Jake the Snake tied up Macho into the.
Oh yeah. And he had really fucking bit him. Yeah. I know what you're talking about. Yeah. And also, Bret Hart never wore those at that time. Now go ahead.
Yeah.
Are you gonna talk about how he had little short tights?
Yeah.
In that match?
Yeah. Yep.
Woof.
How do they know that? Osmosis over here. What the fuck? We're starting to do too many shows together. If I can guess, you're about to bring up another man's tight length.
Yes.
But yeah, that's the only time Bret wore short tights.
Yep.
Sorry, Brisky.
No, that's okay.
I had to strike while the iron was hot, like Vince.
No, I don't blame you.
Yeah.
I don't blame you. You got to get your work. You got to go when you got to go. You know, you got your big call up. You have to go, Travis. I don't blame you.
Well, I hear tights. I'm triggered. So
I hear tights. I'm triggered. You ever see that video of that fat girl who's like, she's like, I get up in the morning, I'm triggered. I get in my car, I'm triggered. I get dressed, I'm triggered. That's pretty funny.
What do you think of the woman in the viral video that wears the Chewbacca mask and she got invited to like a big Star Wars seminar just for that fucking viral video? I think it's bullshit. What'd she do? I legit. You don't believe me? I had that same talking Chewbacca mask. So I'll put a video out. Maybe I'll get an assembly, bitch. I do a mask.
Well, I would hope so. I hope you wouldn't lie about something like that.
I would never work anybody.
Work yourself into a shoot, Mark.
No, my favorite out of the Hart Foundation was Owen Hart.
Damn right.
Yeah. Dude. You ever seen
mine was Bret. Mine was still Bret, just because he, especially in that country feud, because he was cutting his best promos. But Owen was right there. If anything, Anvil was fucking unneeded. Can I be honest? At that point, he didn't really do anything. He was literally a body to take a stunner or a tombstone.
That's like, kind of true, though. Yeah.
I remember that SummerSlam '97, broski, sticks out to me that like every Hart Foundation member, there was like 5 of them, but they all had a different match in that card, and it was all a different angle except Neidhart.
Yep. Yeah, he was pretty. Like. He felt like the guy, if they needed to trim the fat, he would have been the guy that was gone. Mm-hmm. But yeah. We have in the chat, my favorite was Matt and Jeff Hart E.
Do you guys remember the last time he was, speaking of Jim Deanna, the last time he was in WWF, like when he came out and he was going to join DX?
Join DX, yeah. I remember that.
And then they put WCW on the back of him.
Oh yeah. I do remember that.
Yeah. That was the last time I ever saw him.
Until years later. Until years later on Total Divas.
Yes.
Yep. No.
Wasn't he like eating ketchup chips and just amazed at how good they were because he never had them or something?
Probably.
He's American, right? He's not Canadian.
Yeah.
He's American. Yeah.
He's probably Canadian now. He's probably changed his citizenship. I mean, come on.
Or he's got dual.
I think he's living in Florida.
I'll see. Well, he's a wrestler, so of course he lives in fucking Florida. Figures.
Yeah. They all live in Florida, it seems like.
Yeah.
No winter.
I think he goes down. I think he goes to the performance center sometimes.
Just walks around.
Mm-hmm.
All right, keep her going. Keep her going. Low and dead air is bad air.
Yes, absolutely.
Of course, I already got this. The next question for what if. All right, so what if Hart Foundation? No, what if Owen Hart and British Bulldog was still alive?
Owen Hart probably would be champion by now.
Hang on, no, that's not even the question. Hang on.
Oh.
Name 3 guys from back then and or today that you would want them to face and why.
Johnny. Well, I'm picking Owen. I don't care about Bulldog. I'm picking Owen. Johnny Gargano, Daniel Bryan, and Finn Balor.
I'll do Bulldog, I guess. Okay. I'll do D.H. Smith. Just went on.
Yeah.
Fucking.
Oh, that would be cool, actually. Yeah.
Oh man, maybe Sheamus. I kind of feel like that would be a good match. And Cesaro. Why not?
Oh, Cesaro would be dope,
really
man. Because like Bulldog was like the powerhouse of the Hart Foundation, right? And even though he doesn't have like the balloon steroid look, Cesaro is one powerful fucking dude, right? So you could build their whole feud around like who's the more powerful one. Like it would be fucking brilliant. Like just feats of strength in the match, not the stupid things that they would do like punching a punching bag and see how hard who can punch harder. But I mean like feats of strength within the match itself. Like that's the story of the match. They're both trying to fucking outpower each other the entire time. That would be beautiful.
You add another layer with something like the age, like the old lion, kind of being passed over with the younger, stronger generation in a way.
Exactly.
And in the chat, Antonio says Harto with your puns.
Yeah. Rob Van Hart. I saw that. Tater says, "I walk away for 1 minute. We got puns. I like it. Yeah, we don't disappoint here in the future of wrestling."
Exactly, Bronson. What about you?
I'm gonna switch it up. I'm gonna choose Owen Hart and Benoit. Would love to see that.
Yeah.
Kill this fucking family and British Bulldog against Braun Strowman, the match of the Power Slams.
Are you going to bring up this overdose while you're at it? Or
no?
Since you're bringing up killing families for no reason. You can actually catch Owen and Benoit. I mean, it's Japan, but when they're back in like Super J Cup kind of shit, they work well. And
I seen the Jushin Thunder Liger and Owen. That's a great match. And even when he wasn't Jushin Thunder, like whatever his name was, that was an amazing match as well. So yeah.
All right. I like that. I like Braun Strowman. I like that, actually. I'm going to give my 3. All right, British Bulldog. I would like to see a match between Kurt Angle.
Yeah.
Seth Rollins and John Cena. And then for Owen Hart, I actually did pick Chris Benoit. I also picked AJ Styles.
Oh my god, I'm so stupid. AJ fucking Owen would be amazing.
Fuck yeah, I didn't even think about that one.
Maybe even AJ Bulldog could be good. Like Bulldog, like with like the braids. Good young Bulldog.
Yeah. Not Wembley Stadium Bulldog.
That is the same Bulldog.
That's just but he was all fucked up out of his mind in that match.
Mm-hmm. And actually, my third one is an underdog one against Owen, Chad Gable.
Oh yeah, Tater's pants just evaporated in the chat right now.
Yep, Owen Hart versus Chad Gable would probably be.
That would be amazing.
Oh, I'd like to see that. I thought of another one.
Fucking technical masterpiece, that right there. Owen and Gable. That's a technical wrestling match.
Even
right
Owen and Benoit or Owen and Styles. All 3 of them names are good, actually.
Yeah, that's true.
I'd actually, here's your mark answer. I'd love to see Brett and Okada because I really love Brett and Hakushi. I think when Brett's because he kind of came up with Japanese guys in Stampede. I think he works really well with it.
Yeah, he does. Yeah, Jeff and Brett and Okada. I co-sign that. I'm a big fan of Okada.
Great.
It's like one of the Japanese guys that when Robbie brings him up, I'm like, yeah, okay, I know what you're talking about. Him and Ibushi. I know Okada and Ibushi. That's good enough. It seems like by my Twitter timeline, that's all you really need to know about Japanese wrestlers is Okada and Ibushi. If you could just say that, Dave Meltzer would be like, yeah, you're hired.
Yeah, pretty much.
He's pretty amazing.
Oh my god. Tater just called that earlier, son, best squash match ever. Because Owen versus Gable. He's a squash match because he's the biggest fucking Gable mark ever. Oh my god, that's hilarious.
No,
he could be put in a sharpshooter. He could counter out of it with like that beautiful double German.
Right.
Well, here's one. If he would have been like you said, Flying Brian with Loose Cannon, but Flying Brian and fucking Gable too, that would have been a good match.
Flying Brian, Broken Matt Hardy could be good, I guess. There's not a lot of guys in this era or in the past couple of years that have been good at the crazy gimmick. Besides, maybe
really not.
I mean, Mick Foley, obviously.
Yeah.
Yeah, Mankind was great.
Terry Funk, just fucking Terry Funk.
Real quick, Meow Meow wants us to read something. What if Alexa Bliss and Braun were a real couple? When they fuck, Braun splits Alexa in half, which creates the WWE Raw Tag Team title.
Wow.
Does he share the other half with like Kane, like Cool did?
Gable could counter the sharpshooter into a moonsault, bro. Yeah, probably. Gable's apparent a superhero.
That would be pretty impressive to see that.
You could counter a sharpshooter into a sharpshooter.
Oh,
See.
I like what you did there.
That would be
What'd you
insane.
Ashley wants Owen and Gable in a hair match. She just put in the chat.
And
Yeah.
Tater just co-signed it, so book it.
Why do you
Vince.
gotta cut their locks? They look good with their hair. I mean, Owen rocked the buzz cut, but I feel like Gable would look really weird. And I don't know.
Oh yeah, Gable would be hideous, ugly. He wouldn't
needs
need.
that. And
He needs. I was just about to say that.
tag him with Bobby Lashley if he comes to WWE just because they have headbands.
Okay.
Oh my god.
What about Brian Pillman? What about 3 guys against him?
What's hard?
Yeah. I said one, Gable. Huh?
Yeah.
Gable?
AJ Styles.
What
and
about
Cesaro.
What about Dean Ambrose?
Yeah.
No,
No.
he'd get overshadowed by Pillman.
Yep. Because Pillman actually knows how to play the gimmick right.
And it's
I'll go fucking Matt Hardy, broken Matt Hardy, just because I have to, I guess. Not the W. I said broken, not woken. So when it was good,
Yeah,
when it
I
was
agree.
good, Pentagram Jr. and fucking God damn it. Give me a second. You guys go ahead. There's one more. Fuck me. Unbelievable. Maybe-
Unbelievable.
I don't know.
You know,
Unbelievable.
actually,
Is there any boots on the ground?
I know one dude that would be perfect against Brian Pillman. Are you guys ready?
I got it.
Go
Sorry.
ahead, go ahead.
It was Takahashi. That ticking time bomb guy in New Japan right now was that Takahashi guy because he's doing the crazy gimmick pretty well.
Oh, is he?
I like it.
Oh, there you go.
Stuff, so I'm a fucking mark anyway. So
He
there you
wears
go.
What's this ma-
He wears
what was
what?
this match?
He wore like Misfits shirts.
Oh,
before.
okay.
Oh, now I'm a mark for him. So
What was his match in Wrestle Kingdom?
it was like 4-way.
Oh, okay.
I got a perfect guy that he's actually in WWE, and I don't think we mentioned him. Are you guys ready? Actually,
Yeah.
I want to know if you guys know who I'm talking about before I even say it.
Okay.
Do you guys have any guess on who I was actually going to say?
I don't know. No.
I was
No.
going to say Brian Pillman versus Eric Young.
Okay.
I said that, I think.
You did? I don't know.
Can't remember if you said it or not.
I don't know.
Eric Young is good at it, definitely. That's a guy you don't think about, which is a shame. He should be more like it. I shouldn't think of Bray Wyatt before Eric Young at this point. I kind of feel like Eric Young's knocked it out of the park.
Yeah.
Yeah. And he could wrestle, so yeah.
It's a good thing in a wrestling company to be able to wrestle.
It's a plus. It's a plus.
Yep. And I never liked him when he was goofy, so I much prefer this Eric Young.
Yeah, it's much better.
I never liked goofy Eric Young. I was like, no.
There's very few wrestlers that can pull off Goofy well.
Besides what, New Day?
Pretty much. It's like New Day pulls it off really well.
Rusev.
Rusev pulls it off well as well. Jesus.
Did you like Santino? That's goofy.
No.
I did not. I
Not even in
never.
the beginning?
No, I fucking
No,
hated
it
Santino.
was
You mean when he came out of the crowd and pinned Umaga, like
Oh.
at the beginning?
Well, no, that was and his red fucking shoes.
No, I love the Hart Foundation because of the fact that they were like the very first faction that like set the bar for all the other factions, in my opinion. Because that's what it was after that we got Degeneration X shortly after.
Yeah.
You mean
and
in
then
WWF? Strictly, but not like of all time.
Yeah, because there's more factions that came like before that were
Yeah.
like. Because I mean, just think of the Horsemen, right?
Yeah, the Four Horsemen.
WO came before them, even I think. Yeah, '96.
Oh yeah, the NWO was before them.
The NWO
But still,
before.
WWF definitely they were most up. I mean, before this, you had what, like the Heenan family. I mean, it was for what it was at its time, but it was never like we're a group in this together,
Yeah.
like the Hearts.
And it was all about Bobby Heenan, really, you know. which
Yup.
should be.
Yeah, I was just about to say, yeah, that's pretty much the way it should be. God, he was fucking incredible, man.
And the fact
Can we all agree? The greatest manager of all time?
Which I'm glad that like Barbarian didn't.
All right, yeah.
Don't get me. I'm glad it was about me.
My favorite thing about Bobby Heenan was how he would flip flop during commentary, and not like a Jerry Lawler, not like a Booker T flip flop where he's like, "I'm a fave five," that type of shit. Like, the best example I can think of is Marty Jannetty. He's like, "Oh, Jannetty was so afraid he tried to jump through the window," and like right before that, he was like, "These guys are together. They'll always be together. They're best friends." And then Shawn Michaels super kicks Marty Jannetty. He's like, "He doesn't need him. He's a bum."
Yes.
Meow in the chat says Santino Marella is 6-1 in MMA. Well, Shayna Baszler was really good in MMA, but I don't like her either, so that doesn't mean anything.
Well,
Yeah, but 6-1 against who? Tomato cans? It doesn't,
I mean, if he's legit, right on. I'm not.
Yeah.
And I didn't enjoy him as a pro wrestler because I mean, maybe if they didn't do it so cringy and silly, there's a way that I would have done it differently. I think it would have worked and got over with me. But it was that era WWE that sucked, man. Those years.
Yep.
Actually, so did Nakamura. Actually had an MMA fight too, and so did Del Rio. We both had some MMA fights on their record.
And fucking Del Rio did it in his mask.
Yeah, when he was on Dos Caras Jr.
Yeah.
Yeah. Does he want to come back? I was hearing that he forgives WWE and wants to come back.
Fucking put some statement out where he feels he's blaming Paige and her family for everything he said about her. It's as dumb as it sounds, but it's exactly what he said, pretty much.
I believe that. Yeah. Do you think WWE would want him at this point?
Hell no.
Why?
Hell no.
Yeah. What would he add? He wouldn't add shit.
No.
I thought
he doesn't need to be there. There's no need for him, and people wouldn't give a shit. I don't think so. You think? Like,
I don't think so.
Yeah, I don't think he would have a no.
This is what I think. The same statement too, where like he wants to retire with them. He wants to be done by 2020. If I was them, just be like, just let him fucking retire. We don't want that. It's not worth it. He's never been a draw. No matter who they put him with, it doesn't matter. It's just if he was worth a shit. Now Punk, I'm not getting into Punk, trust me, but that's a whole different thing. Punk drew fucking money and merchandise, pushed revenue.
Yep.
Del Rio's never done anything. He's only ever hurt any morale he's ever gone to. Look what he just did to TNA. Look at all the fucking no-shows and all that bullshit they just went through. Suspensions, coming out on the shows and being an asshole on the mic. Nobody wants him.
And also, once he lost Ricardo Rodriguez, he wasn't the same, really. That's sad how
once he lost being a trustworthy human being in general, that's where sometimes you just gotta be like, especially when he's not a draw. That's what I'm saying. Like, it's not worth it.
But I think, like, what Bronson meant was, like, character-wise, like, once he lost Ricardo Rodriguez, he lost that, because he wasn't, I think Del Rio is the definition of a guy who is all about his entrance, and the sad thing is that he had nothing to do with his entrance. It was all Ricardo.
You know what I mean? Exactly. And then they put him with Van Damme, which made no fucking sense.
That was fucking dumb. Yeah, that was dumb. But we did get to see that insane ladder bump that he took through the tables at what match was it? Fuck, I can't remember. I'm too tired right now. But it wasn't. It was a couple of years ago. Like right before they split them up, there was a tables match, a TLC match. Oh, so
maybe it was against.
I was gonna say. I think he might have been, but anyway, I know that Ricardo. No, it was a Money in the Bank or a ladder match, like for a title or something. And Ricardo was like at the top of the ladder, going to retrieve the briefcase or the belt, and he got fucking launched. And he went through the tables, but he landed on the table, and it was such that like he landed just on the edge of the table. So the table kind of flipped up and then crushed beneath him. It was fucking brutal, man. I'll have to look it up on YouTube after and send you guys a clip because I remember it vividly, and it was fucking brutal. It was the bump of the night.
Do you remember when he would like work NXT like a couple of years ago under a mask with like?
Yes.
El Local. El Local was his name.
Yep.
Yeah, him and It was supposed
Somehow we've gone from one of the greatest stables of all time to fucking El Local. So there you go.
How the fuck did we get here? Yeah, that's crazy.
I don't know. I blacked out when I woke up. You guys were talking about Del Rio.
That's what happens when Del Rio's mentioned on screen, talked about. You just zone out, and that sums up his career for me.
I start thinking about things I would rather be doing with my life right now than talk about Del Rio.
Yeah.
Like kidney stone surgery, or jumping out my window,
shitting my pants at work. Fucking.
Oh God, I hope that never happens. Although I work on my couch, so I should be all right. I should be always all right.
Go then to the restroom. There you go.
Yeah, unless your legs, unless you
Every
can't
time I go to the
lift your legs.
bathroom at my work, somebody's in it, a customer or something. It's bullshit.
Ugh, that's the worst.
So I'd be fucked. I'd have to leave. I would.
But all right, I think it's time for us to end this podcast for tonight.
Well, we'll start talking about shitting. We got
Yeah.
That's it. Logan shut us down. He pulls the plug on us.
these fucking
All
kids. All right,
right.
cool.
Travis, thank you for coming on as a guest. Hope to have you on more often. Where can they check you out? At
Most
Sorry.
definitely. On Twitter, at the HibikiTMD. Subscribe to HibikiTMD on YouTube. Yeah, there you go. Oh, yeah, KP today. He's going to plug it anyway, so I'll let him.
Bronson, go ahead.
All right, you can catch me here in the Future Wrestling, and you can catch me on Twitter at BronsonTron.
And
There you go.
my hoe to my bro, Eric, where can they check you out? And please plug your shit so somebody can buy your shirts.
You can buy my shirts at prowrestlingtees.com/FTITM. You can straight up just give me your money at patreon.com/FTITM. You can also go to my Twitch chat. I'll be doing that very soon, and that'll be fun. And the stream is offline.
Yep. We're off.
It's
reason.
fixed.
Oh, and it's buffering, yeah. Okay.
Okay.
Right, yeah, see? He tried to shut me down right in the middle of my promo.
No, it just did it by
I
itself.
will
I'm
never
sorry.
talk about feces again. I promise. Logan, shut it all down.
I'm just fucking with you, Logan.
Okay.
But yeah, but that's it. Late Night at Broski coming up here in about 10 minutes.
Yep. And you guys don't miss next week, well, this Saturday coming up, our debut of Saturday Night Myers.
Saturday night, my.
And then next
Saturday
week,
Night.
next week, Future Wrestling Rewind, All Things 93. And I just have breaking news. NWO WCW coming soon this in February. And I just added old school Mr. Perfect. So be ready for that.
Fucking Logan has shows planned till fucking November 2019.
Yeah, you have better booking than WWE does.
He's got that long booking. He's got that
Yeah.
long-term booking.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, oh, what is that?
But guys, I want you to go like, subscribe to this channel right here. Hit the button, smash that like button. Enjoy
Hit the bell so you get
product.
notified when we go live. Hit the bell.
Definitely hit that bell, and of course, you guys can check me out on Twitter at LoganMyers144, and that is it. You guys have to listen to the final couple minutes of the Hart Foundation theme song.